Welcome to the channel where we delve into the complexities of human behavior and the subtle signals that often go unnoticed. Today, we're uncovering a topic that's both intriguing and thought-provoking. 12 hidden signs a married woman is secretly interested in cheating with you. This isn't about encouraging or endorsing such situations, but understanding the unspoken cues that can arise in complex social dynamics. By recognizing these signs, we can approach these interactions with clarity, self-control, and awareness. Let's explore this with the depth and insight that only a keen observer can achieve. Stay with us as we break down these hidden signals. In the quiet corridors of life, temptation whispers and the shadows of desire tread close. Yet, as practitioners of the ancient path laid by Zeno, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, we know that to see clearly and act justly is not a mere act of will, but a disciplined way of life. A married woman's subtle actions may stir questions, gestures, words, fleeting glances that suggest more than innocence. But we, as students of Stoicism, do not stand here as mere interpreters of these signs, but as guardians of our own virtue, steadfast against the storms that brew within. For while the world around us may flicker with unspoken desires, it is the tempest inside that we must master. 1. Moments of prolonged eye contact. Prolonged eye contact can suggest emotional connection or an unspoken message. For the Stoic, this moment must be met with awareness and discipline. Marcus Aurelius's teachings remind us that perception without unnecessary judgment allows us to see situations clearly, without being swayed by emotion. When someone holds their gaze longer than usual, acknowledge the interaction, but remain unmoved by the implications it might carry. The key is to stay centered, observing the gesture without attaching meaning that could disrupt your inner peace. In her gaze, there may lie hints of unspoken truths. But remember, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Do not let your own soul be darkened by interpretation. See clearly, without the shadow of desire distorting what is before you. 2. Laughter that lingers. When laughter extends beyond what is typical, it can be a signal of personal interest. The Stoic, however, does not react to external validation or warmth with expectation or assumption. Laughter, while infectious and comforting, must not disturb one's sense of balance. As Epictetus emphasized, the measure of a person is how they react when provoked or drawn in. If laughter leads to interpretations of deeper significance, remind yourself that the wise remain anchored in their own approval, rather than the laughter or favor of others. When joy shared seems to extend beyond the moment, we must question not her intent, but our own response. As Epictetus declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Recognize the pull of emotion and choose the path of restraint, for in that lies freedom. 3. Conversations that drift toward the personal. Engagements that take a more intimate turn can seem to foster a sense of exclusivity and connection. For a Stoic, this is the moment to maintain emotional equilibrium and practice discernment. When discussions venture into personal dissatisfaction or vulnerabilities, it is crucial to listen with compassion while guarding against emotional entanglement. Seneca's assertion that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future serves as a guide to not let personal revelations shape one's actions or emotional state. When her stories veer into realms that touch on her dissatisfactions or unveil vulnerabilities, see this not as an invitation but as a test. The Stoic stands firm. As Seneca noted, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Here we must dare to uphold our principles. 4. Accidental touches and proximity. Touch and physical proximity are powerful, often unconscious communicators of interest. The Stoic response to such interactions is one of conscious detachment. The body may react instinctively, but the mind must act deliberately. The practice here is to remain present yet unaffected, understanding that physical closeness does not demand emotional closeness. This calls for the self-control that Marcus Aurelius described as essential for preserving the spirit's tranquility. The closeness that skirts the boundary between familiar and intimate calls for discernment. We must recall the teachings that guide us toward self-command. The body may react, but the mind must remain untouched, an unassailable fortress. 5. Subtle compliments that speak to your ego. Compliments directed at one's character, intelligence, or appearance can ignite pride or vanity, emotions that Stoics seek to moderate. While praise may be given with genuine or ulterior motives, it should be met with gratitude and humility, without letting it shape one's self-worth. Aurelius's words, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment," are fitting. Recognition should not sway one from their path or cultivate expectations that cloud judgment. Words that feed pride are the most potent traps. Remember Aurelius's advice. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Compliments that inflate the self can twist a man's path. Only by recognizing this can we walk unbent. 6. Hints of discontent in her marriage. When subtle complaints or expressions of dissatisfaction surface, they can create a shared emotional space that invites empathy and deeper connection. For a Stoic, understanding that such confessions can stir the impulse to intervene or comfort is essential. The response should be grounded in a commitment to virtue over passion. Epictetus's guidance to remain indifferent to things outside of one's control reminds us that we can show empathy without stepping into an emotionally compromising role. Confessions wrapped in veiled sorrow or silent disillusionment can play on empathy, but to act would betray more than another's trust. It would betray your own integrity. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Let the world misread your Stoic silence for apathy, knowing that true strength lies in enduring misunderstanding for the sake of higher virtue. 7. Seeking your company in seclusion. Private settings, away from others' eyes, often bring subtle tests of moral resolve. In moments of secluded interaction, a Stoic remains vigilant, interpreting solitude not as an opportunity for indulgence, but as a challenge to maintain principles. This echoes Seneca's counsel. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. Isolation can amplify desire, but the Stoic uses it to sharpen self-control. When her presence shifts to private places, do not mistake this as an opportunity, but as a proving ground. As Seneca urged, most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. Know that it is in these solitary moments where our resolve is forged or shattered. 8. Frequent, unexpected communication. When communication becomes regular, unplanned, or loaded with subtle implications, it can signal deeper interest. The Stoic, however, assesses these moments without anticipation or unnecessary interpretation. Aurelius's wisdom that, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it, reinforces the importance of measured responses. Being available but distant in emotion helps maintain composure. Messages that carry a hidden warmth or arrive unbidden test our inner compass. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, said Marcus Aurelius. In that spirit, let our responses be measured, grounded not in reaction, but in reason. 9. Her admiration of your traits. When admiration moves beyond the casual and begins to echo sincere respect or fascination, it can stir one's ego and create a sense of special attention. For a Stoic, admiration must be met with humility. Remember that one's true measure is not built on external validation, but on the alignment of actions with virtue. Epictetus's reminder that it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, urges you to focus not on what you inspire in others, but on how you govern yourself in response. When admiration turns from casual to intentional, it mirrors the desires we must overcome. The Stoic path demands that we recognize admiration without being ensnared by it. For as Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. 10. Hints of jealousy towards others. Subtle displays of possessiveness or signs of jealousy can signal emotional stakes that go beyond friendship. To the Stoic, this behavior must be observed with clarity and neutrality. Seneca reminds us that he who is brave is free. And freedom, in this context, is found in remaining unaffected by emotions projected onto us by others. Understanding this allows one to act with integrity, without feeding into or encouraging possessive tendencies. A subtle act that shifts with possessiveness shows the fragility of unchecked emotion. Stand as a witness to this, not a participant. Know that true honor is maintained not by indulging another's whim, but by guarding your own virtue. 11th Conversations filled with unspoken meaning. When dialogue becomes layered with double meanings or hidden intentions, a Stoic identifies these shifts with rational detachment. The skill of listening deeply without responding impulsively is critical here. Marcus Aurelius's principle of acting with purpose and speaking only truth is vital. Maintain clear boundaries in conversation, be transparent, and resist the temptation to play into ambiguous exchanges that could challenge one's ethical stance. When words hover with implication, it is the philosopher's duty to let them pass without taking root. In Aurelius's wisdom, we find our guide. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let this govern your choices. 12th, moments of vulnerability when alone. When a person reveals raw emotion or appears vulnerable in solitude, it tests compassion against boundaries. The Stoic approach is to offer support that is kind yet devoid of self-serving intent. Compassion should not be confused with indulgence. As Epictetus taught, care for others, but remain true to the path that does not compromise one's principles. Recognize that vulnerability in others does not require reciprocation that breaches moral conduct. In her moments of openness, we are called to act not as men swayed by emotion, but as Stoics. Let us recall that a man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. Our ambition must be to act justly, unmoved by fleeting desires. The Stoic's steadfast path. These signs, while potentially revealing deeper motives, are ultimately opportunities for self-reflection and mastery. The core of Stoicism teaches that while external actions may stir the waters of desire or confusion, it is within our power to remain unmoved, to act from a place of virtue. The Stoic's greatest triumph lies not in the avoidance of these situations, but in navigating them with unwavering integrity and self-command. In this pursuit, we embody true strength, an inner fortress that withstands both storm and seduction. In the end, it is not the signs that test us most, but our response to them. True power lies in temperance, in the ability to withstand the lures of emotion and stand upright amidst temptation. Let us, as seekers of wisdom, find strength not in the indulgence of fleeting passion, but in the cultivation of enduring virtue. For in this, we rise above, embodying the Stoic's eternal pursuit, mastery over self. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos on Stoicism, relationship, and personal growth. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And stay tuned for more insights on how to elevate your life and relationship.